Hello everyone, this is Akhil Kanaskar. I've been working in configuration management from past 3.86 year, and today I'm going to give you demonstration how you can set up a continuous delivery model. Uh, so basically the tools which I'm using in this setup are Jenkins as the CI server, then Maven as the build tool, uh, and I have a Java web application project through which I'm going to build it using Mavens. Then I'm also doing running Sonar analysis, and then quickly I'll deploy it to the application server. In the in this case, I'm using Tomcat as a container. So before going to the demonstration, let me give you how I have done my setup. Okay, so as you can see here, there is 3 steps. So in the first step, what I'm doing is once I check out my code in my first job, then I'm setting the version to a release version, and then I'm running ambient package so that I'll get the artifacts. In this case it would be war artifact. Then once that job is done, then I'm moving on to a second step, that is a separate job, and which runs the sonar analysis. So also to keep in mind is once step 1 is done, automatically the second step is triggered. So all this can be configured in the Jenkins job using there are very handy plugins. Like I have used a lot of plugins in this. Like one is for copying artifacts. I have used copy artifact plugin, and then for triggering parameterized build, there's a parameterized plugin which comes in Jenkins. So after my step 2 is done, then uh, I'll get the using the copy artifact plugin. I'll take the artifact from my pipeline step 1, and I'll deploy that artifact on the Tomcat container. Also, in the first step, the artifact which is produced by running ambient package, I'm deploying it to an Artifactory server, so that it ensures that anything that I'm deploying on Tomcat is there in Artifactory. So at any point of time, if you want to see if you want to get the older WAR files, you can always look into the artifact. Okay, so now. Okay, so here, as in the diagram I showed you, pipeline step 1. So Maven test step build is the first step. Then second step is the sonar analysis, and the third is deploy. To show you in a pipeline, it will look something like this. So in Jenkins, you can download a build pipeline plugin which will give you this kind of build pipeline, and which you can configure according to your needs. So I'll quickly show you how I have configured my first step is a Maven build. So first I am passing a version. This parameter will be used in setting the version for my artifact, and the same parameter I'll pass it on to the other jobs. So and then I'm using git over here. So this is the git configuration. Then I've used Artifactory plugin, and in that in the this is a freestyle project. So in that you will get a generic Artifactory integration option in build environment if you install this plugin. Then you can select your Artifactory server, and then the target repository where you want to upload your artifacts, which can be selected. Also, as you can see in the publish artifacts, uh, mm, the version, the directory where I want to search this artifact is configured like this. So the main part of this job is to do the set the version and then do a build. So I'm using Maven 3.0.3, and in the advanced section I'm using this property. So once um, when I trigger the job, I'll put in the version and that will get updated into the properties, and that version would be set. Also, I've configured the global and local settings .xml for Maven, so I'm using the same in both cases. then then in the post build sections, I'm archiving my artifacts. This I'm doing so that in the third pipeline step, that is the deploy step, it using this, it will take the artifact from the job number 1, and then it will publish it. And last, in the post build section, I've configured a build trigger with parameterize build. So when the first job will kick up, the version would be passed on to the next sonar analysis job. So the next step in the pipeline is the sonar analysis. I'll quickly go through configurations. So here also I'm using similarly kit configuration I've done. Then I'm running clean package command. Then in the post build section, I'm I've configured sonar, and using this it will run the sonar analysis on the project. And the last configuration is uh, um, what I'm trying to do is the next step it will automatically trigger is the test step deploy. And similarly, the version parameter which I passed in my first job will be passed on to sonar analysis step, and from here it will be passed to the deploy step. So quickly go through the deploy step. In the configuration, what I had done is I have created a deploy script. So using that deploy script, I'm going to deploy it onto a Tomcat container. So basically the script will delete the older war application from the Tomcat and put on the new system. So you can customize your script according to your needs. Like you can start stop the Tomcat some container, or whatever configurations would you would like to do, you can do that. So here, as I told you in the pipeline step 1, I have configured in the post build section copy artifacts. So in this job, uh, as you can see, I'm using copy artifacts from another project. So here I have mentioned which project I need to copy the artifact from, and which build. So I'm using the latest successful build. And last, in using the execute shell, I'm running my deploy script, and as you can see, the version is passed on to this script. It will take this input and run the script. So now let's quickly trigger our first job. So asked me to put a parameter. I'll so in the pipeline section you can see this. So as you can see, setting the version 1.1. Sorry. So the job is finished. It automatically triggers the next job. Here again it will build it and run the sonar analysis. Become the sonar analysis part. So this is complete. Also you can see it has provided me a link of the sonar where I can see my sonar analysis. So I'll just quickly go to that link, and so here you can see. So since there are not much in this Java application, so you cannot see any issues or technical. Now if you see, the first two steps automatically triggered, the second step automatically triggered, the third one did not. As you can see, you have got an option to trigger this bit. So in this pipeline what I've configured is I want my step 1 and step 2 to automatically trigger on completion of step 1, which is test step maven build. And when the step 2 completes, that is the test step sonar analysis, I want to wait and check my previous two jobs, how they have completed, and if it's look okay, then I can manually trigger them. You can also automatically do this by similar configuration in job 1 and 2. So let's trigger the deploy part. So here you can see it has copied one artifact from my first job, and using the script is executed, and it has deployed the WAR file on Tomcat. We can also show you. So as you can see, the current time is 23:19, and the older file has been deleted and the new one is there. Also you can go to the Tomcat manager, click on this, and this is how you can see your app. Also in Artifactory, as I mentioned in my first step, that I am publishing builds to Artifactory. So let's refresh it. So 1.1.1 was the version, and here you can see the test step 1.1 war is uploaded to Artifactory. Also in the build section you'll get this is the job name, you'll get the build publish info, build number, related stuff. So this was a very basic setup What more you can do with this is you can have uh, other steps added to the pipeline. Like after the third step, if you have multiple environments, like consider uh, this was the dev environment on which I have deployed it. Similarly, in the next environment where you would like to deploy is QA, pre-prod, and prod. So similarly, you can have three more jobs for deploy, and you can add it to this build by pipeline. Also for regression tests, smoke tests, you can always add those stuff as well in the pipeline. So, and you can always have a manual trigger on jobs which you would like to first have a look on the previous job steps and then only manually trigger it. So this was all from the demonstration point of view. I hope this helps most of people who are trying to set up a continuous delivery model. Thank you very much.